Well, chat, with that awkwardness out of the way, what do you say we actually get going here on on the continued adventures of the Rockies trying to win a World Series while the White Sox continue to get shit kicked? Because that is what's continually happening, essentially. We have everything basically fully optimized and ready to go. A quick reminder of what the teams look like for this year. By the way, the Rockies are ranked first in the majors. The White Sox ranked third. LOL. We'll see if that means anything. It probably doesn't. This is what your team looks like this season, chat, as we have the starting rotation of Dollander, Miller, Brown, Whitley, and Rollison. McMahon as the long reliever. The rest of the bullpen is Doval, Moorhead, Longwood, Rusty T. Shackelford, Mason Miller, Ian Hamilton, and Jose Suarez, the new closer, because Camilo Doval has completely given up on being decent. He's following in the Gratterol footprints that were left behind. In terms of the lineup, it is pretty damn strong on paper, isn't it? Pablo Sanchez Dos, Benny Montgomery, Mountain Oyster, last year's Rookie of the Year, Kyle Manzardo, Brett Beatty, Wyatt Langford, Anthony Volpe, Max Clark, and Dinger McPissmissile, with the bench including those five, as well as I'm a Mackey's PC there at the bottom, 77 overall. It's a good team. It's a good team. Whether or not they can live up to their potential is the question, and that's the question for my White Sox as well. Villegas, Olivo, Schultz, Taylor, Iriarte, Richard Rosas, the long reliever. The rest of the bullpen: Geronimo, Ronnie Santos, Caleb Ferguson, Garrett Crochet, Brian Abreu, and Alex Vesia. The most recent signing is the new reliever. Terms of the lineup, I let some players go this past season that might come back to haunt me. Fritz Grant, Dominic Fletcher, Eloy Jimenez, Jordan Walker, Michael Bush, Jefferson Quero, Sam Zavala, Jacob Gonzalez, and Wes Kath. Yeah, I need a third baseman. Did they fix the two setup pitchers getting innings issue? Is the response. But it is what it is. Down to our managers being stupid. In terms of the top prospect list, by the way, big shout out to Baseball Fan for the 67 months on the primer. I also missed a follow from TC Armored earlier on. Thank you for that if you're still here. The Blue Jays, I have the #1 prospect in baseball because the Dodgers traded him away, which is still crazy. Your closer, the Wild Thing himself, number 10 on the list, the highest prospect that either of our two teams have at this stage. My highest ranked player is Josh Saito, who is still in Double-A. You guys also have inappropriate text. I got McGee and Watts up there, so not bad. Prospect pool is somehow looking better for you guys, even though you've made the playoffs 2 seasons in a row. Figure that one out. Yeah, it kind of frustrates me. This has not gone well for me at all. Looking at your top prospects, by the way. The new catcher, old Blues Clues. He was never going to have a different name. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't know if you guys are proud of yourselves for these names, but you probably should be. What a collection of talent in that prospect list. My goodness. Let's see how it goes. Although before that, I want to put up a prediction for the regular season. I also had to pay out last night's prediction, which I totally forgot to. So the prediction is going to be for playoffs. Will it be the White Sox that make it? The Rockies that make it? Both teams or neither? You can now bet on what you think is going to happen playoff-wise this season. But again, you guys are ranked first. Giants 16th, Padres 22nd. The Dodgers continuing to fall on paper. You guys are the only team ranked in the single digits within the NL West. Should be your year. I am also the only team ranked within the single digits. I'm the only team ranked almost inside the top 20. Cleveland just ruins it. How's Joelus Shoe Jackson? He is still in Double-A. So, he's taking a while. Oof, got some contracts coming up at the end of this year, too. We'll get to that when the time comes. As I get a trade offer from the Giants, Adam O'Neill for Sterling Thompson. I mean, O'Neill is kind of my future at second base. How good Sterling Thompson here? Because I do need a good third baseman. How was he last year? Not great. Not great. He is good defensively, but that's it's not good enough. Not good enough. That is one of your former players, correct? All right, so in terms of scouting, let's see what the hell you guys really need to look at this season. The old WordPad doc here to track this. So for the Rockies, again, as always, we have our yes, our kind of, our not reallys, and our no's. Catcher, you got Blues Clues in there. Catcher's a not really. It's not a necessity, but went to the Rocket Marley game today, and Lord, the Marlies have a tree in net. I haven't followed a damn thing AHL related. I always mention that. It's just, they took my team away, man. How can I care about the AHL? See, first base, honestly, kind of, because you don't have like a super high-end first base prospect. I think Owls Are Neat is solid, but not insane. I'd label that as a bigger need than not really. Second base, you're still good there. That's in the not really category. Third base, you're fine. Cash considerations is almost ready to go. Although he's probably not going to be the type of player that you guys like. Shortstop is still a yes. Tall start, the newly renamed Tall Start, isn't that bad. But you guys need a high-end shortstop. You always have the Carolina Hurricanes. I sure will. Thank you, Nice, for the bits. In left, honestly, that's a yes. You need some depth. In left. Center field, I mean, you have Buck Wild there. Center field's a kind of. And you definitely need another high-end right fielder to go with no hand O'Houlihan. So outfield's going to be a pretty big focus for you guys this year. And then in terms of pitching, to be honest, the bullpen's looking much better in terms of young prospects. That's honestly not that bad. I don't think you have to prioritize that this year. And then in terms of starters, your Wyoming Cowboy, got Inappropriate Text, Delicio Pizza. It's in the kind of for starters. That's not too bad. So we know what the setup for the Rockies really needs to be, and it's shortstop and corner outfielders that need to be that primary focus right now. Just to fill out that depth. So let's see what is out there. In that regard for you guys. For myself, well, this is going to be horrifying, I'm sure. But in terms of the yes, the kinda, and the not really. Catcher for me is what shortstop was for you guys a few years ago. Like this log jam of talent. And none of them, I think, are insane. I signed Ethan Salas this year, and he's already disappointing me at the plate. Which is why it was a one-year deal with an option for a second. I'm going to put catcher in kind of. I don't think it's an outright yes, but it's, honestly, I think it's an outright yes. I need a safety net. First base. Yeah. That's a yes as well. Second base. I mean, Adam O'Neill is there, so that'd probably put that in a not really. Anyone managed to put points on just the White Sox making the playoffs? Yes, one person put 10 points on it. So if it's just me that makes the playoffs, someone's going to win a good amount of points. Third base. That's a yes. How the hell did this happen? Shortstop, I'm good. Left field, I should be good. But I'm not. Center field, we're fine. And in right, put that in the kind of category. For relievers, got Zapata in the mix. Kingman, Tristan Piles, trash. Yeah, honestly, relievers are a decent need for me right now. Starters, I'm going to put in the not really category. This will be an interesting one for me. Oh, man, what are we going to do? Let's go catcher, first base, third base to start. That is going to be the game plan. There we go. Let's keep it moving. Not a tremendous start for our teams, but it's okay. Plenty. So I get a trade offer from the Astros. Okay. He's 31. Young shortstop Felix Pineda for Joey Loperfido. Good utility player. Has barely played in the majors. He's doing all right down at AAA, but he's 31. I don't need him. He's technically better than DJ Gladney, but I'm going to say no to that. So you know what the trade's that week? All right. Let's see. So, international catcher. I'm off to first baseman. For Chat's team. International shortstops. Then it's off to left field. Maybe sim another week. Trade offer for me from Seattle, Edgar Caro. Current third choice catcher for Joaquin Carnitz. I finally got a good trade offer, chat. It finally happened. Oh, thank God. Why don't you scout catcher? I mean, that is why I'm scouting catcher. It's because I don't trust that Salas is going to be good. So Edgar has barely gotten major league level playing time. In AAA, it's not like he's lighting the world on fire at the plate. I like that he's a switch hitter, but I need to clear out that logjam there. Carnitz is an interesting one. AAA stats, he's doing all right. Plenty of contract control. I did have shortstop in the not really category because I have Terrence Watts, but having Carnitz and Watts will help, especially since my starting shortstop, Fritz Grant, just fractured his leg. Edgar, you served us well. Not really. You didn't really do anything. I am going to take that deal from Seattle. All right. Let's see. So for you guys, go to left field east, left field international, and then right field west. So the big question for you guys, do you also want to scout out the kind ofs, which was first, center, and starting pitching? Or do you want to focus on the big three needs first and then look at anybody else towards the end? Let me know what you want your strategy to be. Let's see, I need first base east, first base international, and then I need third base west. Big three? Okay. Big three will be the deal. Shout out to MCR, but no thank you at the moment. We march. We move. All right, so I got a trade off from Arizona starter Adrian McGee For another shortstop, Tommy Troy. Holy shit. McGee's 25, A, and a 78. He's certainly not bad. Troy, good utility player. How's he doing at the plate? Not great. He is basically Colson Montgomery, who I got rid of this year. He is basically Colson Montgomery V2. Carnitz is not exactly lighting the world on fire in that starting shortstop position right now. Colson was better than that. If you look at the last couple of years, I mean, he was probably a little bit better, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Honestly, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. It's another deal that I am willing to make. I have one too many players. I can send Carlos Ballesteros down to AAA. Willing to risk it. Let's see. Third base Central, third base East, and third base International. For you guys, you wanted to focus on the big three. You got one more week here before you can do that. Right field Central, right field East, right field International. Surprised you guys haven't gotten a trade offer yet. 20 and 16. Well, chat, you may have finally gotten your wish about the Dodgers. The window of opportunity may be open for the Rockies. It could be. So let's see. Shortstop is the first stop for chat. Nick O'Neill. Definitely worth looking at. Joaquin Armas. And Andreas Torres. Could be a good year for shortstops. For me, I am going to keep looking. So I am going to go and look at the left field options. Taking more of a general approach this year. I need left field, right field. I'm also going to look at relief pitching. So that's the game plan there. Oops. All right. Jake Berger has been dealt to Milwaukee from Baltimore for 2 veteran players. That's just a multiple veteran involved trade. Fair enough. So I got a trade offer from the Angels. William Diaz in center. 19B and a 58. I just drafted this guy. For third baseman, Jack Brannigan. I mean, like, maybe for Josh Young as a veteran, but how about James McDonald? That's insane. What a horrible trade offer. Brother of Zap, indeed. All right. Well, chat, you certainly have a target. If he falls to you, Nick O'Neill. He's like a hell of a player. Honestly, those shortstops in general look pretty damn good. Let's see. Who else is there at shortstop? They haven't really looked at yet. Roberto Salinas. Might not be that bad. Rafael Mendoza. Ethan Rose is an interesting one because that overall could be really high. It's unlikely, though. He's probably a C potential with a good overall. Look at Trent Segura. For myself, I need left field international. Then we're off to right field. And we keep moving. Good week for the White Sox. Let's see. I need right field East. Right field international. And then relief pitchers for chat. Let's keep looking at shortstops until the corner outfielders take center stage. And pretty much anybody sub 40%. Dudley Tashner. What a name. Dudley Tashner. There is also Edgar Cabrera. Anybody else in that mix? Jordan Aseo. And this guy has no chance of being an A. So, can anyone actually explain to me why people are so up in arms about Trevor Bauer not being on an MLB team? Because people are claiming that he's been canceled, and people are against woke cancel culture. Even though, how many people can you name that were canceled that have actually been canceled? That's what it's about. The guy, whether or not he is guilty of what he is accused of, is a complete and utter dickhead, and nobody wants him on their team for that reason. It is the same reason as why the Red Sox this year are going to be celebrating the 20-year anniversary of the 2004 World Series winning team, and Curt Schilling's not going to be there. Because Curt Schilling, who should be a Hall of Famer, is a fucking douche. Just search up what happened between him and the Wakefields. So, it's the continued trend in life where people act like dickheads and then act like they're still entitled to opportunities when, no, if you're a dickhead, people aren't going to work with you. And even if you're not a dickhead and someone thinks you're a dickhead, people aren't going to work with you. Some people think I'm a dickhead. I can be a dickhead. That's just how it goes. But when the difference goes from, well, some people think he's a dick, some people think he's nice, to most people think you're a fucking dickhead, then yeah, you're going to miss out on opportunities. That's just how it goes. And people don't like that. People don't like being held accountable for anything nowadays. Anyway, that's my rant on how the people who always claim other people are soft, liberal snowflakes are actually the soft snowflakes themselves. Anyway, Villegas really isn't worth looking at. That overall is going to be terrible. I think you guys are off to corner outfielders here. Franco's already at 40%. Alex Gonzalez. Thank you for coming to our Toog Talk. Exactly. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. Let's see. I have a trade offer from the Angels. Jack Brannigan is back. This time for catcher Mark Altman. Brannigan is struggling even in AAA, so I'm going to say no to that. Thank you very much. Did that go through? Yeah, I guess we did make it all the way through a week, huh? Because now you have, I didn't think we made it all the way through the week, but fair enough. All right, let's see who is available here next in left. Anybody under 40%? Dwayne Drew. Christopher Butner. Christopher. And last but not least, Mike Perry. For myself, I'm going to continue to risk it time-wise. I'm playing with fire this year. Butner's day off. God damn it. I am playing with fire. Smiles, take it easy. Appreciate you hanging out. See what happens. The White Sox don't have too many players on their roster. People are back from injury. Salas is not him. This was my fear, is that at the plate he was going to be mid, and he is. At least I know he's not the answer at catcher. At least I know. It's good to know. Get the name right the first time. I'll take your word for it. I don't even remember what the hell I said the first time. Let's see. That's still fine. Salas is only signed for the year with an option for next year. So I played it quite safe, and rightfully so. Let's see. Everything's good there. Shortstop is now where the problem resides. I'm going to call Ballesteros back up. I'm going to cut Jose Tena off of the team. Let's send down Carnets. And let's send down Grant. What else can I do here? So Gillespie goes to single. Those two, oh boy. Gillespie goes to single. Castillo's going to have to go to single. That way I can have 3 in AA, which will include Lantigua. And then send down Rucker, and that should be okay. All right, let's see. First place White Sox. I hope we keep that up. I'm even going to look at closers here a little bit too, at least at a base level. I am really going to risk it with my time to look at individuals. Let's see for chat. Did that not go through? Didn't we make it the whole week? That's weird. We made it through the whole week. It didn't give you like any information on those guys. That's interesting. Did it give me information on relievers? Yeah, it gave me some information on reliever. That's really weird that those guys just, like, didn't respond. What the hell? The great equalizer for me, I guess. You guys get a trade offer from the Marlins, Dylan Dingler at catcher. Well, you really don't need. He'd be a third choice for the shortstop tall start. That's just not worth it at all. Not that desperate for depth. All right, another day for scouting. Okay, this time it gave you information. They're related to that Sharks Russian scout, right? All right, well. Now let's see. Monty Moreno's worth looking at. Bill Ullman, maybe, just because that overall could be high as hell. And then Edgar Moreno. For the Sox, I need to look at closing international pitchers. And now I can finally start looking at individuals. Apparently my scouts really like Doyle John. Duly noted. I will scout him out a little bit more. Let's go Doyle. Your poor parents named you Doyle. And you would have been born in like 2018. Some shit. All right, let's see. For the Rockies. Bill Ullman's going to be an interesting one. Should have named him John John. How about Little John? Not even the Little John. The Robin Hood Little John. Montez, Probably want to prioritize people with higher potential. Off to right field. Pablo Andino. Edmund Link. And Ronaldo Cedeno. For myself... Well, you know what I didn't mean to do last week was to leave priority 3 open, but there you go. We both got fucked in terms of scouting in at least 1 week, so we're even. Turns out Doyle John is absolutely insane. So, yeah, if I get the first overall pick, I'm going to like that guy. Don't really need starters. Do I need a second baseman? No. Closer, Domingo Fernandez. I'll look at you. Basically, I'm going to look at the guys that are projected at the very top of the list and see who's there. See, Fernando Nieves I'll look at as well. And Pablo Andino in right. Look at those guys that my scouts have projected to be the highest. Let's see. Trade offer for me from the Phillies, second baseman Robert Moore. Love when the AI offer you complete and utter trash. Rockies currently half a game back of the Padres. Let's keep looking in right field here for you guys. See if there's anybody left. Still got a couple of weeks of scouting. Let's see. Brad Conrad's not really worth it. There's a Bundy in there. Torrey Bundy. Wasn't he in last year's draft? Didn't I draft that guy like 2 or 3 years ago? Interesting. Craig Sherry, I mean, can't hit an A. Robbie Washington. I mean, that guy's overall is higher. He might not be that bad. Diego Reyes is a big time risk. There's also Albert Sasaki. It's worth looking at. For myself here, I'm going to keep trying to find the best options possible. Hoping for the best. But yeah, Doyle John. Certainly looks like him. Kirby Morey as a closer. Antonio Franco in left. The Franco. Who's next? Who's next? I scouted out closers, but I didn't find anything on Michael McVeigh. I might have to go manual with this now. Might have to. Third baseman Howard Roberts. Closer left and third. I have to be a little bit more aggressive in my scouting plans here. Less than a month out from the draft as well. The trade-off for me, Adam O'Neill for Carson Williams at short. Jesus. I don't think I need Carson Williams. Yeah, it's like every generated shortstop so far, or younger shortstop, has only developed into being a good threat defensively. It's just not worth it for me based off what I've already picked up at shortstop this year. First place White Sox. Will it stay that way? I certainly hope so. All right, what the hell else did I need? Again, I didn't really need starters. That closer. Didn't really need second baseman. Again, didn't need starters. Nieves, Zavala. Rayfield didn't need... Shortstop was also not a focus for me. So Michael McVeigh, Seth Morris. I just got to randomly scout these guys on my own. And Robert Maeda. Just got to look at a lot of these relievers and see if they're worth anything. Again, for chat, we had that set. Nope, we didn't have that set up. There we go. Giuseppe Parra. If that overall is not terrible, he'll be pretty good. Shout out to T-Reds, by the way. What's going on? Let's see. Anybody else who's worth a damn? I mean, Cedeno, you already got some info on. Jonah Nieve, I mean, is going to be worth looking at. Looks like this will be the final week of scouting out the positions of need. Leave you guys a little bit of time left to look at other people. All right, so up next was first base, center field, and starting pitching. What do you guys want to focus on with 3 weeks left? For the record, first base, there's nobody projected for the first round right now. Center field, one guy projected for the first round. And then starting pitching is starting pitching. Again, starting pitching was a bigger need for you guys than relief pitching at this point, because you drafted a lot of relievers in the last 2 years. I mean, you could still go relief pitching if you wanted to, but again, starting pitching was a bigger need at this point. Pitching seems to be the thought, though. So starting pitching it is. Honestly, it'll be worth doing that generalized scouting again, at least out of the gates. All right. Closing in on the drafts. You guys get a trade offer from the Blue Jays, excuse me, Victor Mesa Jr. for first baseman Hunter Goodman. Honestly, it's kind of an even swap. Mesa does make more money. Do you need a depth center fielder? Not really. To be honest, that's not a particularly great trade. I mean, Mesa hasn't historically been good at the plate either. That's not worth it if you guys take on the extra salary. Not a great deal. All right. A little bit more scouting to handle. Let's see what else I can find here. What else do we got? So Maury had a lot of information. I could further scout out McVeigh, but he's 18. So I'm not going to get too much more information. Same from Morris. I kind of have a good idea of what those guys are right now. And Maeda. I didn't really need a center fielder. I did need a catcher, so I got to look more at Justin Hall. Then there was Emery Perry. Center field was not really, though. Left field, Alex Gonzalez. That was a yes for me. And starter, shortstop was a not really. Charles James as a reliever. So center, left, and relief. Not center. Jesus. For you guys, let's continue to get that generalized scouting to get a little bit of information on all the starters. And then you'll be good to look at the best of the best at the very end here in the final week. Scout centers, might as well throw a winger and goalie in there. I agree. Honestly, a goalie might be, throw like Tuukka Rask at shortstop. He might be better than some of the people I've had. Although the White Sox looking okay, as are the Rockies. Both of our teams currently leading our respective divisions. Interesting to see us doing that well. So the final week of scouting. Our final week. Let's see, again, center field wasn't a big deal. Cosmos Sanchez as a reliever. All right, guys, keep drilling the joke into the ground. Christ. Edmund is a kind of for me. And again, shortstop was not really. Second base, left field, Franco already looked at. Jesse Caraballo or Richard Alleman. Not going to get too much more information on Jesse, but I'll look at him. Reliever, closer, and right field. For my final report, for chat, I mean, the big question is, you can look at 3 starters. Who are the 3 to look at? You have pick number 23 in this draft. Who do you even bother looking at? Maybe guys that aren't projected to go into the second round. Someone like Greg Flores, who is injured. Rob Callahan, Johan Melendez, although both those guys are 18 years old, so you know they're going to be risks no matter what. You're never going to get great information back. Looking at starters, I know there's an injury, but it's worth looking at Flores. Because again, injury doesn't inherently mean they're going to be shit. Jose Francisco, again, he's 18. Big time shot in the dark. Is there anybody that's like 20? Anybody that's up there? Robert Fitzgerald, but he's projected 10th. Anybody else that's up there? Ryan Pennick is apparently going to have a really good starting overall. Potential might not be too high, though. Mario Gomez. Well, right now, it's looking like the best thing to do is just to scout some like the random 18-year-olds, even though you're not going to get great information on them. Some like older, more developed talents just don't really exist. Was there a Chris Masters? Did I miss the Astor piece? Chris Astor's the Astor piece? I might have skipped right past him again. I don't even know. I don't know how long ago that name was up there. There is Fisher Boggs. That's all I know. Hey, there he is. The old Astor piece himself. Honestly, International is a good shout. Let's see. Texas, Mississippi, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Canada. Let's see. Honestly, East is probably a good shout. Pennsylvania and the likes. So we are coming up on the draft. You guys get a trade offer from Cleveland. It's catcher Kevin Parada for Buck Wild, the young center fielder who is doing really well down in AAA right now. Parada, when given the opportunity, has done pretty well at the plate. The problem is, I mean, you have Dinger and you have Romo, so unless you weren't confident in one of those two being the guy, Dinger this season's been pretty mid at the plate, to be honest. Romo's been all right when he's played, but Buck Wild would be a pretty big prospect to give up right now. So, could move on from Romo. I mean, you could put him in AAA. Can't trade him unless you get an offer for him. And you can only send him down one more time. All right, looks like it's going to be a no. So, just before the draft, the Rockies are 2 games back of San Diego. The White Sox are 8 games up on Minnesota. White Sox would have to absolutely choke to not make the playoffs from here. 49 wins. Well, maybe not absolutely choke. It's still pretty close. No guarantees, but it's the best my teams look so far. Chat right now has a 6-game buffer on the Brewers and the Cubs, so it could finally be the first year that we both make the playoffs. Although in saying that, my team will find a way to choke.